Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And happy Friday, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs. We are here and we are live, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network, and we're talking about the Zebec Network, and Zebec is waking up, and we're going to talk about the Stellar Payroll, and the and the update. So this is the payroll for Stellar, IRA access, and something big is coming. If you didn't see, there is a AMA notification for Tuesday, and I think Tuesday would be, what day is that? Tuesday is June 2nd. So I suspect there's going to be a big announcement June 2nd, and Zebec usually has big announcements on Friday. So I'm not 100% sure why this is on June 2nd, but we will see. But thanks for joining. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And always hit your main man up with a super chat and let me know where it's at. Just trying to keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. And let's start the screen share to see what we can see. So this is a couple shorts. You know, we usually start with some shorts. So what up, Tyran? What's going on with your fam? I like that XRP shirt. I'm feeling it, brother. What up, brother? With Toshi? Zebec is king of PayFi. The king. I see that, bro. What up, good brothers? What up, Peter? Thanks for joining. Holders going up, and that's what we want to see. Peter, thanks for pointing that out. So this is a quick short, a ZBCN breakout or bull trap.
We've got Zebec Network this morning. I'm going to show you what needs to happen over the weekend for us to get a sustained continuation to the upside on Zebec Network, because we're holding in a range right now. And this needs to happen next. So let's talk about what needs to happen over the coming days for Zebec Network to start regaining confidence, starts pushing swings to the upside, because we've been trapped in this range going all the way back to the 17th of May. We haven't managed to break out of the range with any sustained break to the upside. We've got the biggest area of traded volume now sat here at 0.0030390. And anybody that wants to know how much weight that this carries, we just zoom out and we understand where this starts. It starts at Zebec Network's all-time high right up here on the 30th of May, where we topped out at 0.0072. So we pulled back, and we've got resistance barriers above us. The resistance barrier in the short term is going to be this. It's going to be the biggest area of traded volume. So that carries a lot of weight in the short term. You can see each time we keep getting rejected. And we did have a bit of a scare yesterday because we dropped the 236 retracement. Remember, the 236, losing that is going to be really, really weak in the short term. We lost the 236. That come back down. It bounced exactly. It kissed off the 200 moving average. It got bought up, and then we ended back above the 236, which was strong for Zebec. So we need to start pushing up towards the biggest area of traded volume. We need to break through the biggest area of traded volume. We need to hold the 50. We need to hold the 20 moving average, and then we can start bashing on that ceiling of the big 382. And you can see how big the 382 is because we've bashed once, twice, 3, 4, many times on the ceiling without actually cracking through with any sustained break. So we've started pulling back. Why did we pull back? Because Bitcoin started pulling back. Remember, we need confidence within the crypto market, within the altcoin market, to start with Bitcoin. Remember, Bitcoin sneezes, altcoins catch a cold. And one thing that's interesting with Bitcoin right now is we dropped the major 236. We slammed below the 236. We continued to the downside. This was exactly as is expected. However, altcoins outperformed Bitcoin collectively on average, and we signaled that by the Bitcoin dominance. And talking about the Bitcoin dominance, this was here, 21st of May. We said once we'd lost this candle, we were likely to get further downside, followed by a reaction to try and push up the previous support to act as resistance. And then we got a 3-bar reversal. We expected continuation to the downside. We got continuation to the downside, and that is altcoins outperforming Bitcoin for a short term. So this is good for Zebec Network because Bitcoin's losing major support. Zebec Network's holding major support. So it's understanding exactly what needs to happen over the coming days is going to be important. It's going to start with Bitcoin. But the positive thing for Zebec is we have been oversold for a massive period of time now, a huge period of time. And one thing is this big hidden divergence is still in play, where we're putting a lower low on the RSI and we're putting a higher time frame, higher low on price. So that is a hidden divergence. We've got lots of bullish signals. We've got to wait to find out exactly whether Bitcoin is going to recover. We need to wait exactly to see what happens with the Bitcoin dominance. Is that going to continue to drop? And then the last thing we need to look at is going to be oil. Now, oil's important. We've been monitoring this during this potential diamond top pattern. I said, a move to the downside is going to be really good because when oil prices come down, that creates better inflation. When you get better inflation, that creates certainty. When you get certainty, we expect a continuation of rate cuts. So all of these things are important, guys, for Zebec Network. We need to look at Bitcoin, we need to look at the dominance, we need to look at oil, and then this is going to give us an indication as to whether we're likely to get this break above here, where we can start smashing on that ceiling of the 382 once again. Don't forget, if you did enjoy this video, let me know in the comments. Take care of yourself, and I'm going to see you tomorrow.
So shout out to Crypto Bullseye. Silver, what's going on with you, man? BTM Crypto News Network. Let's go. Like, share, and subscribe. Everyone, definitely like the video. I think you guys are not liking the video. Like the video so we can stay in the algo. Right, so more people can see and learn about Zebec. But thanks for joining. Don't forget to like. Stellar profits already started coming to Zebec. iTrust and ZBCN Roth IRA available. Get in now while it's low. Thanks, Toshi. What up, Quarter Crawler? What's going on with your fam? Zebec or Stellar DTCC makes Zebec institutionally credible. A direct partnership would enable Zebec into what is this? A direct partnership would enable Zebec, embed in Zebec into global financial infrastructure, turning real-time payroll into standard automated corporate utility. What's good, Silver? Thanks for that update. Rolling with Toshi. And this is Dr. Nikki. Let's see what Dr. Nikki has to say real quick about Zebec.
The whole setup comes down to POC 0.0028419. Above price's support. Either price accepts there and gives bulls a clean shot, or it rejects and this turns into a trap. Quick question before we get into the levels. I'm honestly super interested to know where you guys are watching from. So comment your city or country down below. And if this setup saves you from chasing a bad entry, hit like and subscribe, because that tells me which charts you want updated next. The market nuker readout is long. For me, confidence is around 72 out of 100, so this is not a blind chase setup. The level that matters is POC 0.0028419. Above price is support. If price accepts above that area, bulls get a real shot at the area.
Trying to let this catch up a little bit. I don't know why it's buffering like crazy, but we'll give it a second and then we'll start the video back. But let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Bulls get a real shot at the upside path. Bull path, reclaim, hold 0.0028419 to target 0.0030906, 0.85%. Bear path, reject, lose 0.0028419 to target 0.0029717, down 3.03%. Best target from the readout 0.0030906, 0.85%. Upside liquidity target. Wrong if price loses 0.0029717, down 64.7%, 14 below, 3 above. There is also a bull flag, compression, so I treat the pattern as bullish, not a guarantee. Support and resistance context. Support 0.0029717. Resistance 0.0030906. Structure is reading as higher low continuation attempt. Pattern context is bull flag. The breakout trigger I would watch is 1 hour close above 0.0030649 again. The measured move target is around 0.0033003. Zooming out, I would keep this simple. Key level first, then the reaction, then the trade plan. For liquidity, I do not want to chase the first candle. I want to see whether price accepts around the level or rejects it quickly. The bull case needs reclaim and hold. The bear case needs rejection and loss of structure. Anything between those two is chop, and chop is where I reduce size or weight. I would also check whether BTC and ETH are helping the move or dragging it down, because a clean altcoin chart can still fail if the whole market flips risk off. Volume is the next filter. A reclaim with stronger volume is worth more than a wick with no follow-through. A rejection with heavy red volume tells me sellers are still active. For futures, I would check funding and open interest before sizing. If leverage is crowded, I would rather wait for the flush or the reset instead of entering into the most crowded candle. So the plan is not complicated. Above the key level with acceptance, I look for continuation. Below the key level with rejection, I look for downside or no trade. Quick sponsor note, BYDFI is running a $1,500 bonus, and you can use the link in the description down below. The reason I am careful, local renderer, higher low continuation attempt, support 0.0029717, resistance 0.0030906, volume is 0.0x, recent average. My take, ZBCN perpetual, upside setup around 0.0028419. Bulls want reclaim and hold to 0.00030 Dumbras, 9061906.
So shout out to Dr. Nikki. So thanks for joining, guys. And I guess we're going to get into it. Looking at the chart It looks like XLM is up 26% on the day. Stronghold is up 17.1. Algorand is up 7.3. HBAR is up 4.9. Trump token is up 3.4. DEX is up 7.4. FET's up 6.6. Qubit is up 3.6. Theta's up 1%. Hashflow is up 6.2. XPR is up 1.8. Monero is waking up. Monero's up 11.6. Algorand is up 0.7. Cron's up 0.8. Pith is up 3.9. Injective is up 18.8. Jupiter's up 6%. CVX is up 1.9. Telecoin is up 4.4. Glad I got on that when it was down. Qual Network's up 5.5. Turbo is up 1.9. World Liberty Financial is up 0.5. AIOZ is up 1.2. Beer is up 0.5. Prime is up 1.5. AIXBT is up 4.1. Hyperliquid is another banger. Am I muted? I'm not muted. You can hear me? You should be able to hear me. You can hear me now? You can hear me now. Hyperliquid is up 3.6. Nexo is up 1.5. And can you confirm? Anybody, everybody, somebody, let me know if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Anybody, everybody, somebody? That's weird. But yeah. Actually, let me check. We'll look at the market movers in a second. Just want to confirm you guys can hear me. But looks like Tau is down 4%. Trying to confirm if the sound is on. Let me check this guy. Can you hear me? Okay, so it is working. Okay, cool. Okay. So looking at the market movers. Dang it. Okay. Come on. Okay, looking at the market movers. Bitcoin is down 0.4% on the day, unchanged on the 4 hour. On the hour down 0.2%. For the week down 2.9. For the month down 3.2. And for the year up 30.6. Quarter caller, I can hear the volume on the live stream. Not sure what's going on there, but the volume's coming through on my end. So I'm not sure what's going on you. Yeah, I can hear it. That's weird. Yeah. That's weird. Somebody else, anybody, somebody, everybody confirm. Let me know what you guys, if you can hear it. Keeping it moving. So Bitcoin is 73,000. Ethereum is unchanged on the day, which is crazy. 2007. Unchanged on the day, unchanged on the 4 hour. On the hour, it is down 0.3. I got to take a call real quick. I'll be right back.
It's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said. It's the Zebec Gazette. It's the Zebec Gazette. It's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said. It's the Zebec Gazette.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Zebec Gazette, brought to you by the Zebec Nation podcast, the only show where payroll streams and stablecoins flex.
I'm Zebec Matt.
And I'm Zebec Lantern 589, your trusted pulse for Zebec news, questionable enthusiasm, and the occasional financially irresponsible laugh. We are bringing you the news from May 18th to the 22nd. Let's get right into it. This is from May.
So back to the bubbles. So Ethereum is 2008. XRP is $1.32, up 0.4 on the day, 0.8 on the 4 hour, 0.3 on the hour. For the week, it's down 0.6. For the month, it's down 3.2. For the year, it is down 41%. So shout out to XRP, our favorite cross-border remittance processor. And on to ZBCN, Zebec. Look like Zebec's up 6.5 on the day, down 1% on the 4 hour, down 0.9 on the hour. For the week, it is up 5.2. For the month, it's up 12%. For the year, for the month, it's down 12%. For the year, it's down 52.6. That's weird. Should be up on the year. I don't know, but that's weird, actually. But keeping it moving. Looking at the holders, Zebec's currently 107,350. So on the 4 hour, it's up 11. On the 12 hour, we added 63. On the day, we are up 78. 3 days, we're up 367. For the week, we're up 640. For 2 weeks, we're up 1,208. And for the 30 days, we are up 4,334. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. And confirm you can hear me. Somebody, anybody, everybody. So over to Live Coin Watch. Live Coin Watch is saying down 1.39 on the hour, up 6.74 on the 20 on the day, up 4.99 on the week. For the month, we're down 12.45. For the 90 days, which is the quarter, up 46.36. And for the year, down 53.1. No volume. What up? Hitter all day. What's going on with you, fam? Silver and Peter, what is going on? So this is the crypto coin market cap. On the crypto market cap, it is 2.47 trillion, down 2.27%. CNC 20 is 148. Let's refresh that to be for sure. It seemed like it should be up today, actually. So let's double check, waiting for the numbers to come up. I guess it is 148.83, down 1.9%. Total crypto market cap 2.47 trillion, down 0.06. Fear and greed, we are still in fear. Looks like we're pulling down on fear, which is good because we want to get good prices. Altcoin season is 38 out of 100, so it's pulling back towards the Bitcoin dominance. So going over to coin market cap is showing 0030, up 7% on the day. Market cap is 305. That's what we like to see it, bro. I like to see the market cap in the threes. When it's under 300 million, it gets kind of weird. But I'm glad we are back at 305 million, up 6.98%. 24-hour trading volume is 8.63 million, down 2.26%. So going over to X, Don't forget to sign up for the BTM Crypto News Network to stay up to date on news and events. What's good, hitter? What's going on with your hitter all day? Just stacking my bags. Peter, let's freaking go. So you can see here, we still got the Zebec and Google Watch waiting for that announcement, which might be the announcement coming Tuesday. The PayFi revolution is accelerated right now, and ZBCN is building the actual infrastructure for it. ZBCN delivers real-time payroll, streaming, cross-border payments, stablecoin, and AI-powered commerce solutions. This is the future flows through a Zebec. ZBCN is building while others are watching. The Zebec and the Zebec Network. Momentum moment for my investors portfolio of ZBCN following the Stellar strategy method. Top 150, 107,290, top 0.1%, elite ahead of the 99%. This is next chapter of Zebec Payroll on Stellar. So this is a quick video. Let me remove this and add it back to the stage to make sure. That's weird. Make sure I got the sound on here. Okay, yeah, we're good. Definitely. Okay. So this is the next chapter of Zebec on Stellar.
Let's talk about.
Let me go back and turn that volume up a touch. Let's see.
Zebec partnering with Stellar and how becoming the stablecoin payroll infrastructure provider changes things up. Break down why this is so massive, Simon.
Stellar is one of the largest chains that's truly optimized for financial transactions. They process over 30 billion in annual payment volume and I think somewhere north of 3 billion in transactions. So in other words, Stellar can handle the high throughput payment load that we need to support enterprise payroll on a global scale. By building Zebec's payroll streaming natively on Stellar allows us to integrate directly with the financial systems that Stellar's already plugged into and using. So beyond accessing the 10 million or so active users that use Stellar every day, Stellar's working with a number of very large globally recognized companies that are looking for a stablecoin payroll solution that is secured by the Stellar blockchain. And until now, this is something that was never offered. So by bringing in Zebec as its stablecoin payroll partner, and of course, taking our 5+ years of experience on Solana to some of these larger enterprises that run payments on other chains and ecosystems, we will see a large growth in the number of enterprises that are using our payroll tools this year.
Let's talk about Zebec partnering with Stellar.
So shout out to Simon on that update. And this is what I'm saying. Payments in the agentic AI economy on Tuesday, July 2nd at 11 a.m. There might be a big announcement there. John, yes, you're freaking crazy. Of course. What did you say? 10 million is good to go. No doubt. Yes. Hitter cashed out at the 0.5 cents. Yeah. Definitely going to hit 5 cents. When is the question, but it's definitely going to hit 5 cents. No doubt. Hitter all day. I hope and pray, brother. Short term, I'll see past that to like 10. Short term, I'm looking more in the 5 area, maybe more. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But let me see. I'm tripping. Back to X. So that was the announcement. This is my main man, Crypto Gold. If you're not following him, go check him out. Here, also here is another connection. Zebec and Deutsche Bank are partners, and here is the boom. Deutsche Bank is part of Project Agora. I'm not even sure how to say that. Pay, stream, stack, future of money moves in real time. Launch super app. Deutsche Bank. Okay, Deutsche. Proud to be partner of the Agor, demonstrating how tokenized central bank reserves and tokenized, I think that's supposed to be a Z, commercial bank deposits on programmable ledger can enhance the efficiency of cross-border payments. This collaboration with the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, 7 central banks, institution of international finance, with more than 40 financial institutions, highlight the power of public-private innovation. We're excited to see this, how this works and shape the future of cross-border payments. The report published earlier today shows the multi-currency settlement with both central bank reserves and commercial bank deposits is achievable, addressing long-standing challenges in wholesale cross-border payments while preserving safety and security. Discover more at the, remember that's LinkedIn, Deutsche Bank, corporate bank. Interesting. So shout out to Crypto Gold. And this is now the breadcrumbs are beginning to show. And today, Zebec headquarters revealed their hand. Can't wait for upcoming Zebec spaces on June 2nd. Things are heating up. AI payments on Google. ZBCN is huge. Could they be using Zebec to pay people for YouTube? We will have to see on June 2nd. And the reason why Simon was on Google's headquarters in London makes more sense now. That'd be crazy if they're paying, although YouTube doesn't pay shit, but if they did pay, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. So this is, especially when the utility kicks in, Zebec have a lot better things going on. They haven't announced yet. I'll fly right by 5 cents. Hit her all day. That's amazing. I hold a nice bag too. Will always keep 1 to 2 million long term, if not forever, to live off. That will remain stacked. I know, right? I got a whole pot stacked, just stacking for stacking's sake, just waiting for something to run up, right? And when it does, just use that as a savings account. So, family, welcome to the BTM Crypto News Network, where freaking eyes are burning. We don't just chase green candles, we chase facts, receipts, utilities. And tonight we got one of those shows where ZBCN holders need to pull up a chair, get comfortable, and stop acting like they're checking the chart every 7 minutes today. Tonight's title, Zebec's Breaking News. Zebec is waking up. Stellar Payroll, IRA access, and something big coming. Now, before someone jumps in the chat saying, BTM, is this financial advice? Absolutely not. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm the guy reading the receipts while the Moon Boys are already putting Lambos in the cart with no insurance. Tonight, we're covering 3 things. First, the Stellar Payroll news. Second, the iTrustCapital IRA access. And third, the weekend price setup. Can Zebec keep moving? Or are we about to get hit with the classic crypto banana peel? Banana in the tailpipe. Hit the like button, share the live stream, and put the ZBCN wake up in the chart if you're holding. Super app will see in Zebec. And we'll see. Can't wait for the super app to actually come up. So let's start with the big picture. Most crypto projects tell you they are changing the world. But when you ask them how, they start speaking in riddles like a wizard with Wi-Fi problems. Zebec's pitch is much easier to understand. real-time payroll, crypto payments, cards, and money movement. Zebec describes itself around real-time payroll, seamless crypto payments, and multi-chain debit cards, and connecting payroll, investments, and everyday expenses. That matters because normal people understand payroll. Your cousin may not understand liquidity pools, restaking, modular DA layers, or why a frog coin has $1 billion market cap. But everybody understands getting paid. I know that if you work, you know exactly how payroll works. And Zebec's narrative is simple. Instead of waiting every 2 weeks, payroll can move in real time. That's the reason I got on, right? I saw that streaming payroll, like, this can't lose. You can't lose with streaming payroll. You can't lose, man. And Zebec's narrative is simple. Instead of waiting every 2 weeks, payroll can move in real time, paid by the second, stablecoin rails, global payouts. That is the kind of crypto use case regular people can actually explain at Thanksgiving without getting kicked away from the dessert table. So, Stellar selects Zebec. Let's talk about the headline. Stellar selected Zebec to bring real-time streaming payroll to its ecosystem. Zebec says this is the first native deployment of its streaming infrastructure outside Solana. That is important because Stellar already has a strong identity around payments, remittance, stablecoin movements, and fast settlement. So when Zebec moves into Stellar, this is not just another chain integration. This is Zebec moving its payroll story into a ecosystem that already speaks the language of payments. Let me explain it like this. If Zebec selling pizza ovens, Stellar is not a random Jim buying one. Stellar is already a restaurant. Payments are already on the menu. I'm trying to adjust this fan. Let me see where we. Payments already on the menu. Zebec's trying to bring payroll kitchen into the restaurant. Now, does that make a Zebec go to $1 tomorrow? No. Calm down, bro. Just take a breath. Uncle Moonbag. This is crypto, not a magic ATM. But it does mean Zebec's story becomes easier to explain. Real-time payroll plus Stellar settlement plus stablecoin payments equals real-world PayFi utilities. Do you think payroll is the strongest crypto use case right now? Type yes, payroll, or no, steal memes. And if anybody types steal memes, I'm kicking you out the chat, bro. You got to be freaking kidding me. But it's still money in meme coins, so I ain't tripping, bro. But I'd expect you guys aren't spending too much on the memes. So this is next major update. CoinMarketCap. Zebec's update says the SuperApp Mobile entered the final testing ahead of the scheduled Q2 2026 release. The app is described as combining real-time payroll, streaming, card management, and Zebec staking into one interface. The Zebec crowd is split between those riding the PayFi momentum and others eyeing the exit with caution. Here's what's trending. A detailed thread highlights a massive institutional momentum and a live super app as key bullish drivers. A popular account declares a HTH all-time high incoming after a 40% weekly surge, reflecting pure price excitement. A trader provides a specific forecast with a 63% confidence in a plus minus 5% move based on volume and spread data. A skeptic voice warns of scam, whispers of overbought conditions, urging extreme caution. So, this is huge for every story because crypto has user experience problems. People don't want 19 wallets, 4 bridges, 2 gas tokens, a seed phrase written on a napkin, and a Discord moderator called Chain Lord telling them to clear the cache. And yeah, if you wrote your seed phrase on a napkin, bless you, child. For you know not what you've done. A seed phrase on a napkin? Come on, guys. Who the heck is putting their seed phrase on a napkin? I mean, I know mine was risky on a piece of paper, but on a napkin? Stop it. And what Discord moderator is named Chain Lord? That's weird. People want one app, payroll, card, staking, spending, simple. That's why the super app matters, not because the word super app sounds cool. It actually does sound pretty cool, though. From all the names, the super app, I don't know who came up with that, but give that person a raise. Although it does sound like something Batman would invest in, but because it connects the use cases, here's the simple version. You get paid, you manage funds, you use a card, you stake a ZBCN, you stay inside the Zebec ecosystem. Now, let's be fair. Final testing is not the same as mass adoption. A mobile app launch is only bullish if users actually use it. Downloads, active wallets, payroll volume, card usage, staking activity, those are the numbers we want to see. But as a narrative, this is strong. This is not we changed our logo and made a dragon mascot. This is product expansion. Hey, brother, ZBIC is the best token. I can't believe how much better it is than XRP. No comparisons at all. None, Joe. Did mine out of box cereal. Did mine a box of cereal. Okay. Phantom, okay. Let me see. Back to the notes. So, now let's talk about the quiet sleeper update. ZBCN is available. What's wrong with this? Through iTrustCapital IRA accounts. Zebec posted that the U.S. holders can buy and hold a Zebec and a tax advantage crypto retirement accounts through the iTrustCapital. And not financial advice, but I am going to move over to the iTrust IRA Capital because it helps you with your taxes when a profit does come in. CoinMarketCap also listed the event on May 20th, 2026, saying ZBCN became available for U.S. investors to buy and hold in a tax advantage. Close some of these windows out. Where were we? This guy opened twice. That's the same article? Oh man, I'm tripping. Where were we? Why does this matter? Because IRA access changes the conversation from just trading to long-term holding. Now, again, don't twist my words. IRA access does not guarantee the price goes up. It doesn't mean institutions are backing up the truck tomorrow morning, but it does mean the ZBCN is being placed in front of a different type of buyer. people thinking longer term retirement accounts, tax advantage exposure. That is a different energy than a guy on a leverage at 2 a.m. yelling 100x or food stamps. Okay, that's weird. Chat. Is IRA access a big deal for ZBCN, or is it overhyped? Type big deal or type overhyped. So the price action and market setup. So let's talk about the price. Zoom in here. Actually, zoom in, not out. What are you doing? So this is the hour. Let's go back to the 15-minute. Zoom in a little bit. So current data from Kraken shows Zebec around 0031 and up roughly 8% in 24 hours with a market cap around 305 million. CoinGecko showed 24-hour trading volume around 9.63 million, but also noted that the volume was down about 5% from the previous day, which means the price was moving up while the volume was not exploding. That is where you need to be grown-ups. Price green is good, but price green with declining volume means we need confirmation. I want to see the volume come in. I want to see buyers defend supports. I want to see ZBCN hold the breakout zone instead of doing the crypto special pump screenshot dump depression. CoinMarketCap AI price analysis page says on May 29, 2026, ZBCN was up 6.16% to 0029, outperforming the broader market that rose 1.22%, and described it as a short beta move with independent movement. And that's the key phrase tonight, outperforming the market. If ZBCN is green while the broader market only slightly up, that means the buyers are paying attention. But, and this is a big but, hold up. ZBCN is still a small cap, high volatility crypto. A 7% move could disappear fast if Bitcoin sneezes. So the bullish case for the weekend, if ZBCN holds around the 0029 to 0030 area, that becomes your first short-term support zone, because that's where the recent price data has been clustering around the current move. Kraken showed around 0031. CoinMarketCap's price analysis page reference around the 00294 on May 29th. Bullish continual needs three things. First, price stays above the recent breakout area. Second, volume increases instead of fading. Third, Bitcoin does not drag the altcoin market into the basement. If ZBCN pushes above the 0031 and the 0032 with strong volume, the next short-term target zone becomes roughly 0034, 0036. If momentum gets aggressive and the crypto market cooperates, and traders start watching the prior higher range around the 0037 and 0040, which Peermex referenced in late April when it listed ZBCN near the 00374 with a 24-hour range up to about the 00402. I'm not saying it hits this weekend. I'm saying that this is the kind of zone traders will look at if the moves confirms. So the bullish case. If Zebec fails to hold the 0029, then there may retest the 0027, 0028 area. CoinMarketCap price analysis page reference ZBCN around the 00278 on May 28th during a down day. So that area matters psychologically. If it loses that, the market may say, nice try, PayFi, go back to the waiting room. And the biggest warning sign would be this: price moves up, volume fades. Social media gets louder than the charts. And that's when you get people saying, bro, trust me. And that is usually when you should check your risk. So the weekend TA, bullish. Zebec is bullish short term above the 0029 to 003. We're currently at the 003. Stronger above the 0032 and could target 0034, 0036 if volume confirms. But if it loses the 0028, and this is the 003, 0028's in there somewhere. But it looks like we are trending up, and I'm not sure why my indicators aren't on here. What happened to my indicators? What the freak, man? That's weird. If they're here, why aren't they showing? I don't know. But this is currently on the 15-minute. Now we'll go back to the 2-hour chart. Looks like it's pulling back a little bit on the 2-hour. Volume confirms, but if it loses 0028, the weekend breakout setup weakens fast. So, yes, payroll. Clear forever, clever forever. Zebec, Crypto Joe, currently getting 525 ZBCN daily. My 6-month stakes gives me 89,000 tokens. Wow. If you like it, I love it. Let's go. I had 5 million stake, but unstaked 2 months ago. I'll wait to stake again when the wallet drops. And that's what I'm waiting for too. When the super app drops, I'm probably going to restake. But I'm holding it now until the super app drops. Then I'll just put it on the super app. So I guess we'll play a video. I need to cut this water off. I'll be right back.
It's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said. It's the Zebec Gazette. It's the Zebec Gazette. It's the Zebec Gazette. You heard what I said. It's the Zebec Gazette.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Zebec Gazette, brought to you by the Zebec Nation podcast, the only show where payroll streams and stablecoins flex.
I'm Zebec Matt.
And I'm Zebec Lantern 589, your trusted pulse for Zebec news, questionable enthusiasm, and the occasional financially irresponsible laugh. We are bringing you the news from May 18th to the 22nd. Let's get right into it. This is from May 18th. Matt, can you please read this really quickly?
Yeah, no problem, Lantern. Zebec Network on May 18th. Compliance isn't just an add-on, people. It's built into the technology. From AML to KYC and SOC2 or ISO and MiCA frameworks, Simon explains why checking the compliance boxes is essential when building financial infrastructure for enterprises, fintechs, and global payment providers.
All right, let's watch this really quickly.
AML, KYC, SOC2, ISO, MiCA. When you're speaking to the larger companies now, how important are you finding that you are compliant with all of these standards, and how much stronger does it make the proposition of Zebec to those conversations you're having with fintech, bank, enterprise customers and things like that?
Last year was all about laying the foundation on the compliance side. All these acronyms you just dropped, those are boxes that needed to be checked. And now looking forward a year later, the way I think about compliance is it's not a constraint on our business. Rather, it's the moat. It's what protects what we've built. Not everyone has it in the industry. It's hard to achieve. And at the end of the day, we do operate within these regulated frameworks in jurisdictions like the US and Europe, which have strict rules on stablecoins and crypto. On top of it, we bought Datenox last year, which was our foundational acquisition in the KYC and KYB space. And we've built out our compliance team from there. So in our view, regulation is not a headwind. Rather, it's actually the key to unlocking real world treasuries and bringing them on chain. So in our view, it's a very worthy investment that we've made over the years to get us to where we are today.
Boom. As usual, drop the mic, Simon. Compliance is key. Remember that. Don't forget, pirates. And then they also acquired Science Card and What's the 314? I had a great episode last week. If you didn't watch it, watch that. May 19th, the Clarity Act has advanced out of the Senate Banking Committee and now heads toward a full Senate vote. Clear regulation will help accelerate innovation across stablecoin payments and real-world crypto products. Stay tuned for Simon's full XRP Las Vegas keynote. I'm excited for this to come out. So let's just watch this little snippet really quickly.
I say after the summer when the Genius Act passed, we saw a huge change in the number of companies that are calling Zebec, trying to get onboarded with Zebec. So it's been incredible for our business, and we're excited to see what's next with the Clarity Act as well.
Yeah, that's a very exciting, I guess, prospect. We'll see. I'm not going to ask you the over/under on Brad's prediction on when that can actually pass, but I say after the summer.
Little Clarity Act Easter egg, and Simon was also on their podcast. This guy was actually interviewing Simon on stage at XRP Vegas. He went on their podcast, her podcast. I don't know whose podcast this is. I think it's hers. But here's a quick little video from that podcast. I just need you to watch this if you didn't watch the interview a couple days ago.
5 years in, Simon, how do you see employers moving to per second pay, or is that still a crypto native use case?
A great question. I mean, the first 3-4 years, I'd say, was very slow growth for us on adoption. And then when the Genius Act passed last year, it really opened the floodgates, and we saw more and more enterprises reaching out to us, asking how to implement stablecoins into their flow. And now with the Clarity Act coming, we expect the next surge, hopefully, to hit as more and more enterprises have trust in the stablecoin system. Now, many of our employers are using us as an option alongside fiat payroll. I'd say that's kind of the most common. And then
I actually just realized this was not the guy on stage. His name is Gerald, so I screwed up. Sorry, that's not the Robert guy. Anyways, keep watching.
Are fully operating on a decentralized payroll model with Zebec.
When you say enterprise businesses, how would you kind of define that? And are you seeing it being traditional Web 2 enterprise businesses in a specific area, or is it really across the board?
So we have quite a diverse group of clients at Zebec. So initially we started with Web3 companies, given that they were already holding their treasury in stablecoins. From there, we acquired a number of payroll companies in the US that would work with primarily SMBs, so companies with like 50 to 250 employees. And that was really the next segment that we focused on. And now with more trust in the system and the stablecoin regulation passing, we are now able to work with what I call the larger enterprises. And these are companies with over 500 employees. We'll have a few of them coming online in the next few months, and we'll be making some marketing announcements around that. But for them, typically the use case has been on contractors and international payments, because that was already a sticking point and had a little bit more cost than the domestic payments for them.
Boom. So you're welcome. Go watch that interview if you did not this week. If you can't tell, adoption is going to be picking up pretty soon. So buy all the ZBCN you can. Not financial advice, of course.
May 20th, Zebec Network. Zebec is now available on iTrustCapital and IRA accounts. U.S. holders can buy and hold Zebec in a tax-advantaged crypto retirement account. iTrustCapital is one of the leading U.S. platforms for crypto IRAs, with $16 billion in total transaction volume, up 60% over the past year.
Damn. That's a big deal. And this already happened on crypto.com, but now you can do it on iTrustCapital. Boom. Okay. Thank you, Matt. Moving on, May 20th, Zebec Network was just giving Lattice's actual username. So there you go. Boom, May 21st. What is this? Okay, let's just watch this really quickly. You'll see a couple Zebec Nation people in this video, by the way, if you didn't notice this last week. Damn, that gave me goosebumps.
Yeah, it gives me goosebumps too. And shout out to Zebec, man. He was right there center with Simon. Simon and Zebec showed up in a big way at XRP Las Vegas. I was there. It was euphoric. The energy was unbelievable. They announced the partnership with Brad and Ripple, and it's just they showed up in an unbelievable way. And shout out to Simon and obviously Zebec, man, for holding Zebec Nation down at XRP Las Vegas.
That's it for the Zebec Gazette. If you enjoyed the chaos, like, subscribe, and share Zebec Nation on X, Discord, and YouTube. And if you're tuning into the Zebec Nation podcast for the first time, welcome to the family.
Stay loud, stay weird, stay tuned in, Zebec Nation. And with that, we'll see you all next week.
Zebec Network is inevitable. Those who persevere conquer. Peace.
Zebec Nation.
Zebec Nation, tap in, lock in. I'm on deck, all signal, no distortion. Hot news, breaking code, truth audited. From protocol to the population, compliance coordinated.
First one to sell is Gay. Peter, you're killing me, bro. Moving forward. Hello. Next up is shout out to the Zebec Nation. This is Rue and Big Rob. Wait, who's this? Is this Star Rails? No.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
I'm trying to see if this is this is let's go see what Rue and
Canton Network
Black Rob are talking about. Let me see. 28 minutes. What is this? This is 13. So we'll start with this one and be right back.
All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. We are back. Of course, I am Big Rob, Crypto Future, back with my guy, Rue Black. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, Rob? Just chilling here. Nice cloudy day here, not sunny here, unfortunately, but we get one or two of those a year, right? In compared to other places. So yeah, loving life.
Absolutely, man. I tell you, it's hot as hell here right now. The kids are outside with this big balloon castle water slide thing, and they're happy. So whatever, right? So I'm in here in the air conditioned house talking about Zebec.
Nice.
All right, so we got we're going to cover today this connection that we saw yesterday between Stellar XLM and the DTCC, and how this might affect Zebec, and I mean maybe also Canton, right? So we're gonna talk about it a little bit here for you guys. So make sure you smash the like, smash the subscribe button, check out our Patreons down below, and let's dive into it. So shout out to 314 Crypto, always posting solid Zebec content. Make sure you give him a follow over on X. He says, the assets no one's talking about. It's secretly integrating with every single chain, XLM, Canton, Zebec, and so much more. You've got DTCC, you've got MasterCard involved. Rue, you covered this last night. So what are your initial thoughts on this?
Honestly, this is everything that Simon's told us, and we really didn't realize it. He told us when he spoke with Joel Valenzuela of Dash, like this is basically what's going to make agentic AI roll, because once DTCC tokenizes all these stocks, now the AI agents can trade them 24/5 continuously, right? So that's going to lead to more fees more liquidity, and all the tokens mentioned: XLM, Canton, XRP, and Zebec.
Yeah, the connections run deeper than people realize, and we often talk about this over on the Coin Vault show at the Max as well, about how a lot of these you're starting to see the early winners in this space that are really starting to break out from the rest of the pack in terms of crypto projects, and in terms of adoption, we're seeing it in the financial sector, decentralized finance, your quants, your stellars, your cantons, your Zebecs, your XRPs, right? The list truly does go on, but this clearly seems to be the first narrative that's being adopted and implemented into our real world, as they are real world assets, right? The same thing with like your Ondos and stuff. And then, I mean, other narratives will start to follow, in my opinion, but the early winners are really starting to become obvious. What do you think?
Well, I'll show you a little bit of what I shared with the guys yesterday as far as this mind map goes, because it's hard to conceptualize when you think about it. But this is kind of what Simon laid out, like from the treasury level down, where the treasury level you got the super app, and it has, this the treasury level super app with its own AI agent. The AI agent will be here doing all of these different functions. So we already know that they're going to do payroll. So everything's in stable coins, by the way, right? So they'll do payroll, any type of carbon credit things they have to do. But this part with the DTCC that they're telling us about, there's tokenized stocks, there's tokenized treasuries, tokenized ETFs, tokenized Russell 1000, which is a tokenized stock. So all of this will be the investing side. Whenever the AI agent wants to go out and do a certain amount of investing based off of money that it's brought in, it can go do that. And it can go do that as long as the DTCC is open, right?
Yeah, and this is only going to continue to snowball because we're seeing so many different spot ETFs that are starting to be approved. I was just talking about one this morning with BNB. So things are going. I mean, you've got HBAR, you've got XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana. The list truly is getting very, very long, in my opinion. So that's going to continue to add volume to this.
You know what, Rob? That's a great point for certain ETFs, crypto ETFs, where people really think these cryptos may be world reserve currencies, like XRP, like an Ethereum, like a Bitcoin. They may choose to go with those ETFs in their corporate treasuries. But then here also, there's from the Zebec point of view, we got the payroll as well, which right from the payroll, you got a person's super app, and they have an AI agent as well connected to it, in which they'll be doing the same thing here as the treasury super app, in which they have an investing piece where they have the cryptos, the ETFs, the tokenized treasuries, and the tokenized stock. But you also, like above, there's an enterprise card, but also for us, we know there's Zebec Silver and Carbon cards, and you can have it also do all your billing, all your like auto pays and stuff like that. And that kind of the list goes on. So now imagine all of these agentic AIs, right, from the top level of these programs now communicating with each other.
The global financial landscape is evolving right in front of our eyes. It's absolutely fascinating that some people don't see it.
It really is. And when you think about it too, I know people talk about XRP and they talk about market cap, like you can never get to certain market cap. And like that has some truth to it. But now you throw in all of these agents, right? Now the market cap is like it's infinity, because these things, they do nothing but consume, nothing but buy and sell. And they can do that because of all the technology that's put in place, right? So where the card, like doing a card regularly, like how we regularly do it in the bank, the fees were too big in order to do that. But now with this new system and the stable coins, it's a fraction of a cent.
Well, also the thing. Sorry, go ahead.
So with it being a fraction of a cent, all of those fractions of a cent are going to add up to being way more than people think. If you think about there being like billions and trillions of agents just conducting business every second of almost every day.
Yeah, and the thing about market cap is that I find that, I mean, 9 out of 10 content creators or people on X or wherever you're finding it that are talking about market cap and what a project can or cannot do based on that fact alone don't even understand what market cap actually is, right?
Yeah.
Market cap is not the amount of money that's currently invested in any given project. It's a mathematical equation, nothing more, nothing less, right? But they
That's
talk about,
that's a good point.
the way that they reference it is that they lead people watching to believe as though if the market cap is $2 billion, that there's currently $2 billion sitting invested in that project. And that's just simply not the case.
That's completely accurate. And guys, I hope you guys know that it is not a one-to-one to money that's inside of the coin. There's like a multiplier there. So like, for instance, whatever amount of money that's actually there multiplied by 10 is actually the market cap or something like that. And
I think the mathematical equation is the value of the token or stock times the circulating supply is what the market cap equals. I believe that's what it is. It's a mathematical equation, not the amount of money invested in the project.
Right. And I think it too might be with like the amount of liquidity at the time, because whenever we get XRP to running, like in certain times when it's running, the multiplier may be 40x, right? So you're thinking that it has how many $1 trillion are in it, right? I think it's up to it. No, it's not up to $1 trillion yet, but it's up to like hundreds of billions, right? Or something like that. But that has like a 40x multiplier on it. So you think it's multiple billions, but really there's only like a few billion in there, right? So it also has to do with liquidity at that point in time, which also makes me really bullish on Zebec, because if people are working around the clock, around the world, there's always going to be liquidity coming into that.
Yeah, the exact mathematical equation for market cap is actually the current share or token price, so the value of one Zebec token, for example, times the total number of the circulating supply. So that's all market cap is for everybody out there. It's no more, no less than that, right? So whenever you see a content creator telling you, well, this project can't get to this because the market cap would have to be that, and the insinuation there, like I said before, is that they're telling you that that's how much money is currently invested in that project. And if they don't even know basic market cap, maybe they might not be the best person to be following in the finance world. I'm just putting that out there, right? So
for sure. I know Zach Rector, shout out to him. He did one on XRP one day that it was running, and he like somehow determined there was a 40x multiplier. And when you think about it that way, that's really, really interesting. And it basically equates to not a one-to-one. And I think people really need to understand that, especially when they think, okay, well, XRP price can't go to $100, or Zebec can't go to $1. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Absolutely. So to kind of simplify for me and sum up what this connection is and how it could affect Zebec, for me, I'm going to sum this up and let me know what you think about it. So the question is, how does the DTCC and XLM news affect Zebec? Well, it's not a direct ZBCN just signed with DTCC deal, but here's an example. Here's a simple chain reaction. So one, the DTCC picks Stellar. More big companies and banks start using Stellar to move real money and tokenized stocks around. Number two, that means way more actual money flow on the Stellar network every day. Number three, Zebec, ZBCN, is already plugged into Stellar like a plug in the wall. It's built to handle fast payroll and payments on that network. Number 4. So when Stellar gets busier with real Wall Street money, Zebec can carry more of that water too, right? So it's like they're gaining usage just through osmosis almost, right? By being partnered with Stellar and being plugged into the Stellar network. So it's like your friend just got picked to build a new highway, which is Stellar and DTCC. You already own the gas station right next to it, which is Zebec Payments. When trucks start driving on the new highway, you sell a lot more gas. That's generally the idea, right? Crypto Twitter is already talking about it. Some people are even selling a little XLM or other coins and rotating that money into ZBCN. And you will start to see a little bit of that capital rotation, as XLM is currently at like 21 cents 17. I think it was like 16 cents when this news broke yesterday. So it's a nice run that it's been on, but people will start to rotate capital and profits, and we're already seeing that happen sort of over to Zebec. So what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, like if I could give it an analogy, it would be, you ever use a slow cooker?
Oh yeah.
So it's like you're like, this is gonna be a bad analogy, but this is like the only thing I could think of, like without saying like passive income, right? Like it's like you're literally going to slow cook your investments. You just like have that AI agent, and that AI agent's just going to be doing its work. You go do whatever the hell you're doing, and that thing is still cooking, right? And it's going to come out perfect every time, right? So I have a little something on that here from Stellar themselves, where they announced it. Let me share that on the screen here, because they give us a couple different points to kind of clarify that. They don't say agentic AI specifically, but they're definitely implying it. So here they say faster settlement, potentially move from days to minutes for eligible asset transfers. So, you know, the agentic AI is doing it in minutes, right? It's transferring those stocks, those ETFs, like however it's programmed to do it, it's doing it in minutes. It's not a human waiting there to say, okay, did it go through? Is it in? Is it done? And this is what every agentic AI around it that can possibly handle its requests. Extended trading hours. So instead of trading hours just being when the stock market's open, the DTCC said their trading hours will be 24/5. Okay, I have something from Mr. Man on that. Let me see if I still have that up from last night here. Nope, I'll bring it up here really quickly. So since the hours of trading are extended 24/5, these AI agents can do that almost 24 hours, you know, almost the whole week, right? 24/5. Let's see here. It's right there. So DTCC 24/5 trading hours begin this June 2026. So now you got these agents trading these stocks and things at the enterprise level almost 24 or exactly 24/5. I want to say 24/7, right? But like every day except for the weekend, right? It's going. And every hour of every day except for the weekend. Okay. So extended trading hours, then lower cost and risk. That goes into what I was saying with the stable coins. It's cheaper to do it with the agents. There's lower cost there. So, and to also lower risk, because if the cost is lower, it's a lower risk for these people to make continuous trades, right? Potential for fewer intermediated steps and reduce reconciliation overhead. So they're not saying agentic AI, but all of these 4 points lead to agentic AI, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, and sometimes you got to connect those dots, right? Sometimes it's just obvious. But I kind of wanted to finish things off. Or did you have more?
Yeah, this was it. I'm sorry, I was saying it, but it wasn't showing. So extended trading hours. Trading is no longer constrained by traditional market hours. That's what I was saying with the 24/5 thing. Lower cost and risk, potential for fewer intermediated steps, and reduced reconciliation overhead. That's with the stable coins. It's lower cost for them to do that. Greater Go ahead.
Less risk of human error as well.
Exactly. That's a good point. Thank you, Rob. A greater excess asset mobility. So, like, you can do this conceivably. You could do this wherever. It doesn't matter if you're in freaking Indonesia, Australia, Europe, wherever, right? As long as you have access to the stable coin and you have an agent that's like compliant, you can use this. Tokenized assets become available across digital avenues without leaving the regulated perimeter. So as long as you're in a regulated perimeter, whether you're in Indonesia or wherever, you can now access that mobility, right? So this is bringing more liquidity to the American stock market than ever's been in there before, because, right, you would have to go through certain avenues like I don't know who's a global stock seller, maybe a Charles Schwab or something like that, where now you can do it at the treasury level. Faster settlement, potentially move from days to minutes. Now you don't have to wait. Okay, let me go have my broker do this, and he'll tell me, the next day or whatever that is transferred. Nope, you got the agent doing it, and the agent only takes minutes for that to transfer. And I'm sure even this is going to go down to seconds once they get this system perfected and fully implemented. It'll probably go down to seconds, and then that's when it's just going to be crazy liquidity. Like even more than this is going to be crazy liquidity.
Yeah, and what does that contribute to the Zebec network? Well, I mean, more transactions, more token burns, deflationary effects. The value of your tokens continue to appreciate. And Rue is gone. He'll be back in a moment. But to sum up, now I promised you guys, while we're waiting for Rue to come back, how may this affect Canton? Because I am being asked that question. People are potentially getting worried. Welcome back, buddy.
I always drug myself, man. I wanted to show you guys one more thing here, off of what Rob said with the tokenomics, right? Let me share my screen here.
Just don't rug yourself again.
Right. Jeez.
I was getting into the promise that I made at the beginning of the video about how this may affect Canton. So we will dive into that to kind of finish things off once you're done here.
So use of stablecoin balances, which are automatically converted into ZBCN at the time fees are assessed. So they say this is only for the payroll platform, but again, you could probably extend this to possibly Treasury. Like maybe they eventually do that, but needless to say, use of the stablecoin balances are being converted automatically to ZBCN at the time fees are assessed. So that's something definitely to note when you're at least talking about the payroll portion of that mind map that we showed you above or at the beginning of the video. And then as far as the Canton piece of this goes, I'll show you here from, let me bring her up. Danelle Dixon kind of mentioned the Canton piece, but I'm wondering, is it in this article? Let me see here. No, it'll be better coming from her. Let me see if I can bring her up really quickly with it. Because she mentioned.
All right, so what do we got here, brother?
So here we have Danelle Dixon of Stellar. She's basically going to break down kind of where Canton comes through, and then I'll pause it here where Canton is coming in.
Today, DTC's tokenization service announced its plans to connect with Stellar. DTCC is the backbone of global capital markets. 50 years of post-trade infrastructure, and $114 trillion in custodial assets. And starting in the first half of 2027, DTC tokenized assets are expected to be available on the Stellar network. That means U.S. Treasuries, ETFs tracking major indices, constituents of the Russell 1000 on a public blockchain with the same investor protections, entitlements, and safeguards as those that are currently held in custody today.
So on a public blockchain with all of the safeguards that are currently held today. So what that translates to me is it's a public blockchain that can have privacy and encrypted protections. So we still say that we're on a public blockchain, but you still have everything private and protected encryption wise. And that would be where Canton comes in, right? Of course, we also know that Canton has the whole partnership with the DTCC where they're doing repos in the treasury market. That's a little separate, but the public blockchain privacy piece, I believe, in my opinion, that's Canton.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Canton, like I was saying before, a lot of people are asking me over the last 24 hours, is this a negative thing as far as Canton is concerned? Is there something we should be worried about? So let's talk about just briefly how this might affect Canton moving forward. It's not a Canton loses situation. It's actually the DTCC saying we like both roads, right? So think of it like this: Canton is the private VIP highway, as we know. DTCC already picked this for treasuries, right? That's already done. Okay. Stellar is the open regular highway. Now DTCC is adding this as well, right? Two different highways doing different things, not worried about competition or anything like that. The DTCC calls it their multi-chain strategy. They're not picking one winner. And I found a lot of comments this morning where people were missing that aspect of it. They blatantly said we're not picking one network, right? We're picking multiple networks because people were saying, well, what about Canton? What about Canton with Stellar? It's like, guys, they literally said they're choosing multiple networks. There's going to be a third and fourth probably network and fifth. That doesn't mean that, it's bumping Stellar out or anything like that. There's nothing to be concerned about here. Like we often talk about on the Coin Vault, this is a multi-chain future we're moving into. Indeed. It's not just one ring to rule them all, right?
Right. I have a Canton video coming out later today where we kind of analyze what's going on with Canton. And they kind of say, shout out to Mr. Man, that built into the DTCC is XRP, XLM, Hedera, and some other things through their purchase of securrency, when they purchase securrency, right? So that's already built in there. And like you said, and like you mentioned, this is two different treasury things, two different treasuries. This is like corporate treasuries and then government repo, like things are different things. These are like bonds, and they're buying treasury bonds back. This is different than the stock market. However, right, they're probably going to have some crossover because, okay, what if your treasury has it's buying bonds, but it's also buying ETFs and tokenized stocks. So it will use both of those different chains, but it's not like they're picking one over the other. They're picking both, like you mentioned there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, guys, this has been another fantastic collaboration with my guy, Rue. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed us tying Stellar and Canton and Zebec together with the DTCC. And listen, if you want more deep dive stuff, me personally, we dropped 100x gems. I just dropped another 100x DeFi play over into the Patreon community. We are also dropping passive income opportunities. Recently, I showed everybody how to get 20% yield on Zebec, how to get 24 to 35% yield on your Plume. And we did drop another layer 1 100x project the other day. And we also dropped another video on it on how to get 21% yield on that. So we're teaching everybody in our community how to gain passive income. Rue, I know you're doing the same thing over there. You're doing your symbolism Sundays, is it?
It is, yes. We do Symbolism Sundays, and we're just having a really big focus on agentic AI and different things like that. And we also do stock investing over there because the stock market is on fire right now. So definitely, if you guys want stock investing, we don't talk about it on the main channel, but we do talk about it in the Patreon.
Amen to that. The links will be down in the description, guys. And just one more thing before you leave, we have to give a shout out to our channel sponsor on both of our channels, which is Decent Biometric Wallet. If you like more passive income and you like the XRPL ecosystem, we've got great news for you. All you got to do is use our link down.
So shout out to Black Rue and Rob. Wait, did I say Big Rob or Big Bob? And Rob at the Crypto Future. And I guess we'll go over to this video with Canton. But back to the chat real quick. I think they may waive taxes on things like staking. I have a feeling we may pay lower crypto taxes just to get America to come to the biggest, to be the biggest crypto capital. In the beginning stages of adoption, I learned something new. Appreciate it. Thank you, Stinger ZBCN. I can't find anything about taxes on staking. I'm in the United States, but I keep searching. Thank you. I'm holding, but I do have a bag that I want to make work for me. Yeah, I didn't see anything, it's just a feeling. So I did look it up in the break. So I answered this from the U.S. tax angle. This is from chat. Since you mentioned IRA access earlier, I'd separate normal staking from IRA staking because they can be treated very differently. Yes, in the U.S., ZBCN staking rewards are taxable, can be taxable, but it depends on where you stake it. A regular wallet or exchange staking. If you stake a ZBCN in a normal wallet, exchange, or a non-IRA account, staking rewards are generally treated as taxable income when you gain control of the rewards. The IRS said staking rewards are included in gross income at their fair market value when you can sell, exchange, or otherwise dispose of them. So the taxable event is usually reward received, claimable, ordinary income, later sale of reward tokens, capital gain, or loss. If you earn $100 worth of ZBCN staking rewards, that $100 can be taxable income. Later, if you sell those rewards for $150, you may also have a $50 capital gains. Makes sense. ZBCN staking inside an IRA. If ZBCN staking is done inside a crypto IRA, taxes may be deferred or avoided depending on the IRA type. iTrustCapital Staking FQA says staking rewards earned inside an IRA generally grow tax advantaged. Traditional IRA rewards are usually taxed when distributed, while qualified Roth IRA distributions may be tax-free. So, traditional IRA, no yearly tax on rewards in the account, but distributions may be taxable. Roth IRA, qualified distributions may be tax-free. Regular account staking rewards may be taxable when received. This is general tax information. I'm not a tax advisor. Crypto staking tax treatment can depend on your wallet, your exchange, whether rewards are claimable, whether you sold, or your personal filing situation. ZBCN staking rewards may be taxable in a regular account when received, but staking inside a IRA may grow tax advantage depending on IRA type. Always check with the crypto tax professional. And that is not me. I'm just telling you what I read from chat. So possibly it is taxable, but they're probably going to change it. So it's going to be hard to tell until you actually sell. But let's end this one with Black Roo and the Canton Network. Actually, what time is it? Let's run this guy real
How
quick.
much Sniper's doing today? Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we're going to be talking about the one, the only legendary, you guessed it, Zebec Network. You know me, I'm super, super high on Zebec. I know Zebec is going to do absolutely well this cycle. It's even doing well against Bitcoin. We can see Bitcoin overall has been struggling the last few days, right? Bitcoin has gone down a decent amount, right? If we take it from even just this week alone, roughly 7% at one point, currently at 6%. If we go look at something like Zebec from the start of the week, it is going to be actually, if we take it from like the Monday, boom, we're actually up, to even like 3% on the week, right? From where we were at one point. Okay. Which is insane when you think about it, because Bitcoin is still down roughly, like 6%, and we're up 3%, right? That is very, very good. Okay. Most cryptos are not beating Bitcoin, and that is just the reality of the situation. Most cryptos are not beating Bitcoin. And, most cryptos are going to be following Bitcoin and going lower and lower, right? That is kind of the reality of the situation. That is just how it is always, basically 99.9% of the time. So the fact that Zebec can perform while Bitcoin is going down, right? And, it really does just kind of show, it just kind of shows where we're at, the strength we have. And this is just the reality, right? This is just the reality of the situation. I just can't imagine what's going to be happening when Bitcoin is going to line up, right? And continue to go up higher and higher and higher. For me, all I can see is going to be massive green days for Zebec. I already said Zebec is extremely undervalued. I believe this crypto should be at 2 to 3 billion anyways, as its current floor right now, not even where we should be in the, future, right? Just where we should be right now. So, I'm not surprised in a way. I'm not surprised in a way that we can perform the way we've been performing, because, like I said, we are extremely undervalued and we are extremely still underrated. And that's going to switch and change up very, very quickly. Once we get more and more green lights, whether it's from Zebec partnerships or just overall the world itself with crypto, it's going to be an unstoppable force, and I can almost guarantee you that. Anyways, we can see that Zebec in the last handful of hours has gone up a good amount, roughly, 16%, if not a little bit more, which is very, very nice, very, very ideal. We can see we are attempting to break structure, right? The structure we currently did have was basically a high, lower high, lower high, lower high. We had low, lower low, lower low, and then we kind of had like an equal low, right? We kind of just lost momentum on this daily candle. We created a doji type candle, and we can see, boom, instant reversals, right? Instant reversals. Now, I would like for us to take out this mini swing point we're here, right? That would be the most ideal, is for us to close a little bit higher than this, in my personal opinion. However, I still think the fact that we did overtake this bottom, and especially these two as of right now, is going to be very, very beneficial for us. If we go and look at something like the weekly candle, right, we can see that we are seeing a little bit of blue momentum, right? Nothing too crazy. We still have the rest of Friday. Of course, we still have Saturday and Sunday left to really see how things are going to play out. But as of right now, it is looking okay. In terms of the month of May, right, this is a pretty good, solid candle, especially if we're trying to get a bigger and bigger pump for June. I've been saying this almost every single video, but it's because I have to say how June is going to be by far the most important month for us, okay? By far the most important month. Why? Well, when we go and look at something like Zebec, we can see that we are on the 3-month chart. We do have these 3 months lows, and we have these higher 3-month lows, which is very, very nice. We have these 3-month highs over here, and we're looking to create higher highs, right? We're looking to basically be staircasing upwards. Not only that, but the end of quarter 2 does mean that basically we are going to be past the halfway mark for the year, or more or less, at the halfway mark. And we are going to form another 6-month candle, which is going to be very, very important for us. As of right now, Zebec is following everything to the T, right? Everything to the T. We go look, right? Boom. We can see that we did tap into here, right? 6-month order block, yearly order block. It is looking good. It is looking great. 3-month imbalance filled out, right? On the monthly, it's also looking very good. So that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Everything is looking very, very good when it comes to something like Zebec. And it is really, really just exciting for me to personally witness. Okay. When we go and look at something like the 4-hour, right, we can see that we are attempting to break structure. We have these swing points over here, right? Boom, 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 right? And we can see right now we are higher. We're higher than this point. We're higher than this point. And we're also kind of break even with this point over here at 0.0031. So we are looking to be breaking this structure, right? And especially when we get that nice daily candle close, that will also be confirming things a little bit more. As you can see, we have been creating these lower lows. Like I was saying, right? We can see that, despite the areas where we should be losing momentum, like over down here, and even definitely up here, right? We just smashed through it, right? We consolidated just a little bit, right? We just consolidated just a little bit, and then we started to go up higher and higher. Okay, so look, man, it is looking good. It is looking great. I do think we are setting up ourselves for a nice month of June, in my opinion. In the event that I am wrong, I mean, that would really suck. It would stall out things a little bit more. But for me, the way I see is that we did break out of this huge zone that we were in for months, right? We broke out of here, right? This is when we're really meant to sell off and go lower, and we never did, right? We broke the structure. Now we're kind of just retesting it. We can see, boom, we're retesting it over here, right? It's very, very simple to me. I see this as a huge break over here. I see this kind of as a retest, and I see the month of June being a huge success, in my personal opinion, for something like Zebec. Right, I really do think there's a chance. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but there's a chance we go upwards of 0.005 this month. I really do think that's the case. If not there, then I do think we could most definitely come to these zones over here of 0.0041. And like I said, on the 3-month, that would be enough. And on the 6-month, that would be most definitely enough. So we will be monitoring everything, right? Everything is still bullish as of right now, right? We can see we have these bottoms, higher bottoms, higher bottoms. We have these highs, higher highs. So we are kind of in this type of channel right now, right? When we go look at it, right? We are kind of just in this type of channel. Boom, simple as that. Something like this, right? Something like this. It doesn't have to be perfect, but more or less we are kind of in this channel right now. We can see when we go look at something like the indicators, right? On the weekly, we are actually bullish. The orange is above the green, which means we're bullish. So even despite all of this sell-off in recent times, we are still very, very bullish. We're still looking very, very good, very, very great, and very, very ideal. Same thing when we go to this custom cross over here, right? The 50 and 200. There we go, right? It is looking good. It is looking great. It is showing that, hey, we're still bullish. And it's been showing that. It's not like it just flipped because of this very, very bullish candle. It's been showing that. So you had your opportunities to be buying in here if you did follow the indicator. That is ultimately going to be it, though, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. We will end it off with some of the basics. We could see Bitcoin's at $73,000. We can see Zebec right up there in rankings again, 109 at 8,269 active cryptos. In the last month, we are down 7.5%. In the last week, we are up 3%. And in the last 24 hours, we're also up 7%. We're going to go look at something like this. We can see that the holders are consistently rising. We're at 107,356 holders. It is looking good. It is looking great. I love you guys so much. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.
So we're going to finish it out with Rue in this Canon network, and then we'll call it an evening.
42 days left. What is actually being built? We're going to get into that and more. Of course, the first part of this is for everyone, but the second part, the whole video, is only for the Patreon people. Definitely shout out to the Patreon. This is also a pre-record, so it's being streamed live to the Patreon right now. Where in the second part of this video, we'll go over some stuff that we're looking at, and we'll go into deeper coverage why we think that you only have 42 days left when it comes to Canton, okay? And we'll go over some other things that we're looking at in relation to Canton. So shout out to the Patreon crew. And yeah, definitely check out the Patreon. where it's less than a cup of coffee. We just did our Symbolism Sunday today, going over the Venetians or the Phoenicians, right? Same people, but we got into that in the Patreon. That will be a Patreon only thing. When we talk about symbolism, it's only on the Patreon. And also we did our open mic night on Saturday. Definitely was very nice there. Definitely go check that out. Of course, those videos are only on the Patreon, and we do have our chat rooms, our exclusive chat rooms on the Patreon. Definitely go check it out. So what's up, Kevin Garrett? Appreciate you, brother. So let's hear Yuval Roots talk about what's going on here, and then we're going to explain it, because I haven't heard anyone really explain it really clearly. So we'll get into that. So here we go with Yuval and the show he was on here with 21 Shares. 21 Shares is going to make a Canton ETF. So let's hear.
If you're just only doing a peer-to-peer transfer of a stable coin, honestly, putting that on a public permissionless chain, other than the statement about distributions of wallets, really has no value. You don't get any additional benefit. You're actually really running Venmo on the most expensive database in the world. That's all you're doing, because all you're doing is you're trading, you're moving claims against one centralized issuer from one account to another. And you're doing that on the most expensive database. And that's why you're seeing a lot of the stablecoin issuers now creating private chains, because they're saying we can actually do that much more efficiently. But if you actually then say, well, but then you lose composability, that's really where the value of a public permissionless chain comes. If you're just only doing a peer-to-peer
I'm going to let him say it again.
Transfer of a stable coin, honestly, putting that on a public permissionless chain, other than the statement about distributions of wallets, really has no value. You don't get any additional benefit. You're actually really running Venmo on the most expensive database in the world. That's all you're doing, because all you're doing is you're trading, you're moving claims against one centralized issuer from one account to another. And you're doing that on the most expensive database. And that's why you're seeing a lot of the stablecoin issuers now creating private chains, because they're saying we can actually do that much more efficiently. But if you actually then say, well, but then you lose composability, that's really where the value of a public permissionless chain comes. If you're
So they really kind of make it clear here in the caption. And like, we're really going to break this down. He only spoke for 42 seconds, but they were very profound. It's very profound what he said. Peer-to-peer stablecoin transfers on public chains are just moving claims against a centralized issuer from one account to another. The database cost is real. Composability is what justifies the infrastructure. So Yuval was talking with 21 Shares. 21 Shares. So essentially, just to break down what Yuval is saying here, he's saying that if you're doing basically a peer-to-peer transfer of stablecoins, you're essentially just moving the claim of like who's going to be like responsible for backing the money, making sure the money is able to be claimable from one database call to another one. So you're really not doing anything there, right? Is what he's saying. It's just where Canton comes in, where Canton has the composability. So I looked this up, and Claude really helped explain this a really good way. Right, because this is like a whole bunch of kind of a little bit of a technical jargon, like a little bit technical here, right? And he also mentioned the fact that these stablecoin issuers are just deciding to make their own chains. So we know Circle is making ARC, which Zebec is helping with that, and we know Zebec is also helping with another stablecoin issuer chain, which is Tempo, which Stripe is basically doing with Visa, and they're going to have the agentic AI with Tempo. So Tempo and ARC are just going to be their own public layer ones, right? Who's to say that they're not still going to use Ethereum and things underneath the covers? But here's kind of where Canton comes in with the composability, okay? Now, I know that we've talked about this a little bit in the past. Max has broke it down, and he's broken down the atomic settlement part, right? But here's the part that really, because atomic settlement to me is like, okay, yeah, I get it. if one part doesn't go through, none of it goes through. So yes, but the part to really understand for me is, okay, what differed from what existed before? So before, how they would do it is in traditional finance, they would use 3 different ledgers for this, right? So the bond would settle in one system, say DTC, Depository Trust Corporation, right? That's the parent corporation of DTCC. Okay. So that bond would settle in one ledger. Then the cash would settle in another ledger, Fedwire or Swift. And something else would settle in another ledger, but just take those 2 ledgers, right? Say they happen at 2 different times. One time, T1, T2, during that gap, one side could default, and that's called settlement risk. Now, what Canton does is it takes those 2 different ledgers where things could settle at a different time, and then it says, okay, well, now we're going to make that atomic. These, either these things settle at the same time or they don't at all. Okay. That was the missing piece for me, saying that there were 2 different ledgers. And that's what they have right now, in which the system takes longer to do things because everything's in 2 different ledgers. They're waiting for 2 different times. And then they got to confirm and something passed the other ledger and something passed the other ledger. And, that created a risk there. Whereas Canton will have exposure to multiple ledgers, right? And once it has exposure to these multiple ledgers, it can confirm and very, very quickly, okay, everything's settled, atomic, right? And everything's settled, so it's cool. Or one didn't settle, we're going to cancel the whole thing. Okay. Now, that wasn't clear to me before how the old system worked. Okay. So I think this is very, very clear, right? So what Yuval is talking about is Canton makes all of that, it composes all of that, and Canton is bringing that composability. It's combining those ledgers, like us, our guy, friend of the channel, of course, Maximus Crypto, Coinbot, my fellow Triple Threat member says, Canton is a ledger of ledgers, right? So all of the ledgers that are connected to it, it can say, okay, either one ledger, okay, or all the ledgers clear or none of them do. Okay. Now we can get into kind of the ecosystem part of it, in which, if you're not familiar with all of these systems, it's fine, but basically know that there are a lot of big institutional guys in these systems. So it really baffles me why Yuval was fighting the whole institutional thing with Paul Barron. But anyway, you look at Copper, you look at Fireblocks, BNY, Hex Trust. These are huge, big institutional names. Zodia, Copper, right? And then payments, Visa, Circle, MasterCard, Zero Hash, JP Morgan, all of these, also partners of Zebec, right? Lattice, which we know Lattice is partnered with Zebec too as a neobank. Braille, Mesh, okay, really big ones there. WorldPay, very huge. Pause. Bitwire. So very, very huge amount of companies there. Got some financiers. Got tokenized assets. We got Societe Generale. We got Broadridge. We got DTCC, right? Very important, DTCC. Fidelity, like all of these institutional guys, right? 21 Shares, HSBC, Franklin Templeton, Euroclear, BNP Paribas, right? Circle again with USDC. So very big amount of people there as well. Interoperability, Layer 0, Chainlink, Bridgeport, Houdini Swap, which we know Zebec is in with, Wormhole, Onera, which we know they're tied into Hedera. Okay. Liquidity, guys. DRW, we know they're really heavily tied into Canton. GSR, okay. And then data and analytics, we got Real World Asset, XYZ, TMR Labs, Moody's, Bloomberg, Lucca, Kakao, okay, big ones there as well. So we got a world-class set of ecosystem here. Developer tools, Wallet Connect, Alchemy, digital asset, of course, they make Canton. So very much so a world-class set of people there, right? Oh, I missed OKX here when we're talking about exchanges. Very cool, big amount of exchanges as well. Gate, OKX, Kraken, NASDAQ, London Stock Exchange, MEXC, Robinhood, Temple, got the Lion of Judah here. We went over the Lion of Judah today. Of course, you know, Lion of Judah, Lion of Venice, right? In Symbolism Sunday. Definitely go check out Symbolism Sunday in the Patreon. Arcanix, right? Really big list of exchanges here. Yeah, so definitely let me know what you think now. Does atomic settlement make a little bit more sense now that we explained the way that things previously worked? And we're going to continue this show for the Patreon. But if you made it to the end here, definitely put in the chat Yuval, okay? I will know that you made it in the end. If you
So shout out to Black Roo and that information. Mambo, what up? Let's go, Navy SEAL Zebec. What's going on with your Mambo? Thanks for joining, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And didn't get a super chat, but it's all good in the hood. But we are shutting it down. So thanks for joining. And remember, stay dangerous. But it's your main man, BTM, signing out. Let's get back to the money, guys. And as always, stay dangerous and have a good weekend. I might come back on tomorrow, not sure. Got some running around to do, so I don't know if we're going to do a video tomorrow or not. But thanks for joining. Thanks for supporting the channel. And we are shutting it down. But it's your main man, BTM, signing out. Miner is out. Peace and hair grease. Good night, fam.